Greetings, Earthlings. What does it do? It's your boy Lustate back with another video. I know. It's been a while. I understand. Especially after the last video was such a revelation, such a huge event in human history. For me to take this much time off, I apologize. I truly do feel sorrowful about my absence. But I assure you that absence was not in vain. Projects were in the works, ideas, philosophy being written. One project in particular that I am very excited about. I will not disclose what it is, but that was what I spent the majority of my time working on, and I hope to announce more about that project soon. But in the meantime, I felt that with the current state of the world, there are a lot of issues with people taking unnecessary mental debuffs regarding what is going on. I understand it's a very scary and uncertain time for a lot of people. And I think that there are a few videos that I would like to put out regarding some of the mentality aspect of dealing with something like a game-wide pandemic. Not since the virus in World of Warcraft have we seen something quite on this level take over the game and really put fear in the hearts of the player base. So I want to really talk about one thing with this video, and that is a thought experiment. So if you will, consider this scenario. You have some symptoms show up, and these symptoms you have read online seem to be associated with a certain type of cancer. Horrible debuff, very scary. Many people know people that have had this debuff and have tried to fight through it. Some have lost people to it. And you now think you may have it. This is a problem for you. I'm going to offer you a dichotomy here. And this may be a false dichotomy. I have not been able to come up with a counter example to prove that this is a false dichotomy. But in my mind, it makes logical sense, which is that any problem, whether it be part of your main quest, a side quest, anything that affects you as a player, is one of two things. It is either A, a problem that you can help to fix, or B, a problem that you cannot currently fix. Now, back to the scenario. You attempt to make a doctor's appointment to get screened for the cancer, and they tell you that they cannot get you in until 2 weeks, maybe up to a month. Now, clearly, 2 weeks, a month, that's a long time. Within that time, it could worsen. There's a lot of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty for you as a player in that scenario. But they tell you that unfortunately, due to the high volume of people going into the hospital right now, they cannot get you in any earlier than that. Now, I would say that this is a problem that you cannot fix. You can maybe beg and plead, but there are people ahead of you, and the way that society works, the way that the game works, is that you have to wait that allotted period of two weeks to a month. So, in a scenario where you have a problem that is directly concerning you, but you cannot do anything to fix it or to move forward into fixing it faster. Now, you may be saying that this is a problem where there actually might be more than just waiting that you can do. You could try different locations if you're very concerned. You can try and set up a private screening. There's various things you could maybe attempt to do in order to get screened quicker. And in a scenario where you have a problem where you can help to fix it, or in a scenario where you can do something at least to try and move the solution forward a little bit, I suggest you do that thing. However, in a situation where you have a problem that you cannot fix and worrying about that problem becomes a sort of weird debuff of its own. It's a different type of mental debuff. I don't believe I've mentioned this on the channel before, but there is something that I refer to as mental inventory in the game. Mental inventory is the amount of allotted space that your brain has to be able to process and think about various events in the game. Things that you're concerned with, whether they be bills, your job, your family members. People always have concerns and things in their mental inventory that are just going to be on their mind. They're going to maintain that space in the mental inventory, and they're going to take up space there. They're not going to allow you to, concern yourself with other things in the game. Going back to the cancer metaphor again, the idea that you can't get in to screen or find out if you have cancer for 2 weeks to a month that concern is going to take up mental inventory. However, it's a concern that you can't really do anything to necessarily alleviate. So, in other words, worrying about it does strictly nothing except increase your stress meter and cause you basically mentality debuffs. So you're, in the way that you are giving it mental inventory, you're actually inting because you're not playing what's directly in front of you. You're concerned about a problem that you actually cannot do anything physically to fix. There are no solutions that you can offer for the problem. Therefore, it is not a problem that you should concern yourself with. Now, I am not telling you to not be concerned with problems that affect you or affect the people you care about, but there is a limit. You have to play against what is directly in front of you. This is the basis of input-based gameplay. When we talk about being input-based, it's not concerning yourself with outputs, what's going to happen, the results of events that will happen. You just have to focus on what is in front of you. I think with the world in the state that it's in right now, and for those of you that are American as well, in the American server, there is obviously a lot of strife currently going on. And I encourage you that if you are passionate about helping those causes, to do what you can, do everything you can in your power to, offer some sort of help. But for those of you who are concerned with something but cannot offer a solution, you simply have to do your best to not allow it to take up that mental inventory and cause you those debuffs. It's strictly worse. It is inting in the truest form of the word. I think that people love this idea that they have full control over their area of the server, they have control over their run, and while you have some control, there are a lot of RNG elements and legacy elements to the game that you just have to deal with. You can't necessarily change everything for the better. You just have to deal with what's in front of you. And again, if you have the ability to affect change on things that concern you, and do those things by all means. But if you can't, you're doing nothing but harming yourself mentally by allowing them to take up space in your head. Anyways, I felt like this was a very important video to make. I want to thank you for watching. Attempt to do your best in this troubling time to not give mental inventory to problems that you can't do anything about. And as always, no resets.